On a rainy autumn day, while searching through my grandfather's attic, I stumbled upon an old box, frozen in time and forgotten by the world. Standing there amidst old and mysterious items, I felt a chilling breeze pass through me, like frozen whispers from the past. The box contained family photographs, memories from a distant era, with faded frames and creased corners. Since my grandfather had passed away years ago, I felt compelled to preserve these photographs as a memento of our past. However, with each photograph I examined, the sense of unease grew. They weren't just memories, they seemed to possess a sinister power. I began to scrutinize each image carefully. In the first photograph, my grandfather stood in front of the old house, a warm smile on his face. However, I noticed an oddity. In the background, the clouds seemed to form a sinister and menacing face. I dismissed this discovery as a mere coincidence, attributing it to the play of light and weather effects. As I continued to flip through, I realized that every photograph had something eerie about it. In another picture, my parents were on their wedding day. Yet in one corner of the photograph, the shadow of a strange figure seemed to be plotting something malevolent. I tried to ignore the strange and inexplicable signs, but my unease deepened as I progressed in my investigation. I spent hours in the attic, analyzing each photograph, and my conclusion gradually crystallized. These images foretold tragedies in the future of my family. I couldn't believe what I had discovered, yet I couldn't ignore the terrifying connections I had made. Each photograph was a subtle warning, a curse hidden within seemingly innocent memories. As I gazed at the last photograph in the box, I felt consumed by a profound fear. It was a picture of me from my childhood, with my grandfather at a picnic. Behind us, a withered tree seemed to form a demonic face. It was horrifying to realize that in this way, my grandfather and I were tied to this dark and prophetic discovery. At that moment, I didn't know that these images would become an obsession, and that I had entered a dangerous game with destiny, a game in which I had to learn how to stop these foreseeable tragedies or face their consequences. But to do that, I had to continue exploring this cursed collection and uncover the sinister truth hidden within each photograph. After the discovery of the box with photographs, I felt a weight upon me to uncover more about the mystery behind these terrifying images. Fear and curiosity drove me to embark on a desperate quest to find answers. I began my search in my grandfather's library, where I hoped to find clues about the history of this collection. In the old drawers, I found my grandfather's journals, in which he often mentioned family photographs and the strange events that accompanied them. With every line I read, I discovered that my grandfather had also been obsessed with these images, but had lacked the courage to reveal this family secret. His journals described the tragic events that followed each photograph: car accidents, loss of life, and natural disasters. One sleepless night, my grandfather had reached the conclusion that the photographs were indeed cursed, and their sinister power could not be denied. He had attempted to destroy these images, but they always returned as if they had a will of their own. Armed with this information, I realized that I had to continue my grandfather's work. In his journal, I found mentions of an old occult specialist who had been contacted to unravel the mystery of the photographs. This specialist, named Dr. Elias Blackwood, had disappeared abruptly after attempting to uncover the secret behind these images. I was about to embark on a perilous journey to find Dr. Blackwood and persuade him to share his knowledge. I had no clue about his whereabouts, but I hoped that by following in his footsteps, I might find the key to breaking the curse of the photographs and preventing the tragedies they foretold. This mission had now become my life's purpose, a quest in which I had to confront dark powers and reveal the sinister truth about the photographs and the inevitable death they predicted. Without my family's knowledge, I set out in search of Dr. Elias Blackwood in a desperate effort to find the answers I needed to save my family's future from this terrifying curse. The search for Dr. Elias Blackwood led me into a dark and enigmatic world. The first destination I discovered in my grandfather's journal was an isolated town tucked away in a forgotten corner of the mountains. It was a place where stories and legends of occult forces and wandering spirits had deep roots in the locals' consciousness. In this town, I encountered people who were terrified by memories of Dr. Elias Blackwood. They spoke of the strange experiments he conducted and his quests into the unknown realm of occultism. However, no one had heard anything about him for years. With the help of the locals, I learned that Dr. Blackwood had lived in an old house near the woods, a deserted place steeped in dark legends. On a dark and stormy night, I arrived at the house, feeling a growing sense of unease as I ventured inside. As I explored the house, I stumbled upon ancient books with arcane symbols, mysterious amulets, and remnants of occult experiments. It was clear that Dr. Blackwood had attempted to delve into the unknown secrets of the photographs, and it had ultimately cost him his life. In a hidden room, I found a notebook that appeared to be Dr. Blackwood's journal. He mentioned astounding discoveries about the origins of the photographs and how they were connected to an ancient occult cult whose dark rituals involved capturing premonitions in images. However, the journal didn't reveal how to break the curse of the photographs. With every page I read, I felt the shadows of the past and of occultism drawing closer as I desperately searched for a way to protect my family from the foreboding dangers. As I looked outside, I noticed that the storm had intensified and lightning illuminated the sky ominously. I had the feeling that this old house was filled with secrets and malevolent forces, and I sensed that I was only at the beginning of a perilous journey into the dark world of malevolent photographs and the curse that seemed to follow our family's descendants. Dr. Elias Blackwood's house seemed to be a sanctuary of darkness and mystery, and every step I took there brought me closer to the shocking truth about the photographs and their sinister curse. In my quest for answers, I continued to explore the house, despite the growing sense of danger. With each step, I felt the shadows of the past come to life and envelop me, and the strange sounds and ghostly whispers seemed to speak of terrifying secrets. Eventually, I stumbled upon a hidden room deep within the house, where I found a table with lit candles and ancient books of black magic. In the center of the room, a large old painting caught my attention. The painting depicted a gathering of figures in ancient attire, with vacant eyes and sinister faces. At the center of the painting, a horrifying image showed an old man engaged in an occult ritual, holding a miniature image of a family photograph in his hand. I realized that this image represented an ancestral ritual to empower the photographs and bind their curse to a bloodline. Even more shocking, I realized that my family, starting with my grandfather and continuing with me, had been ensnared in this dark pact. At that moment, the candles began to extinguish, and I felt a dark presence closing in on me. Beyond the door, in the absolute darkness, I heard the terrifying whispers of entities calling for the continuation of the ancestral ritual. I felt trapped in a web of time and curse, and the only chance to escape was to find a way to break this dark pact. With a pounding heart and unwavering determination, I vowed to battle against this power and discover a way to free my family from the sinister curse of the photographs. I left Dr. Elias Blackwood's house with a sense of urgency and determination that drove me to uncover the truth and free my family from the curse of the photographs. On my journey back to my grandfather's house, I delved deep into the occult rituals mentioned in Dr. Blackwood's journal, hoping to find a way to reverse the curse. With the help of a specialized library and the information gathered during my investigation, I learned that the ancestral ritual required a photograph of the family's descendants, as well as a strong blood connection to the one performing the ritual. However, it was not clear how we could break this dark connection and nullify the effects of the malevolent premonitions. When I arrived home, I began gathering all the family photographs and compiled a list of the premonitions associated with each image. It was a catalog of impending tragedies, and each picture felt like a heavy burden on my conscience. With a heavy heart and trembling hands, I called a family meeting to reveal my findings and share the plan to confront this malevolent force. I felt that I needed to bring the family together in this confrontation with the curse to have any chance of success. That night, we ritually burned all the family photographs, attempting to sever the connection to our dark past. As the flames burned the images, I felt a sinister power swirl around us. It was as if we had provoked the wrathful corner of destiny and challenged the curse that had threatened our family. We all felt the past beginning to fade, and the photographs lost their malevolent premonitions. However, the price of breaking the connection with the curse was steep, for we had also lost the connection to our family memories. In the final moments, as I watched the last photograph consumed by flames, I felt that we had successfully confronted the curse. But at the same time, I knew that we would never be able to completely forget the darkness we had found in those old family photographs. It was a bittersweet victory, but we were determined to look forward and build our own future, free from the dark shadows of the past. The curse had ended, but we were left with a painful lesson. Our past can never be completely forgotten, but we can choose not to be its prisoners.